Welcome, GRAR members. This is Scott West, your 2025 president, coming to you just after our August board meeting upstairs at our GRAR studio. I am sitting next to a fellow director, Tim Katerberg. Tim, welcome.
Well, thank you. It was quite a meeting we had this morning.
It was a whirlwind. We got out of there close to 1 o'clock. So it was our longest meeting of the year. We had a lot of hot topics that we went over, really good discussion on many of them. Tim, before we get started on all the things that happened in our meeting, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you've been in the business and where you work and
all right.
All the good stuff.
I'm an associate broker with RE/MAX of Grand Rapids. I always hate to talk about how long I've been in the business because it really makes me feel old, quite frankly, but I think I am well into my 38th year of being a member of GRAR, and that's how long I've been in the industry. I got into the industry based on a family business back in the 70s. These things called condominiums came in, and I always tell a little rumor about me selling my first condo when I was 12 years old. So,
well, been doing this a long time.
I have been all of my adult life.
What keeps you going? What keeps you so enthusiastic about real estate to stay as committed as you are, to keeping a high level of professionalism and even serving on our board?
I realized a couple of years ago when I first ran for a position on the board was in 2014-15, and through that experience, it really hit me, and it's hard for me to say this after so many years of being a member, to really realize what a big industry we are and the impact that we really have on people's lives. And I was reminded that after I went to some of the first big conventions as a board member, and really saw a different worldview of what we do. And I'm very pleased to be able to call myself a realtor. I'm very proud of our industry. I think locally, we're spot on, and it just kind of keeps me energized to keep going. I'm here and I serve a position in my company to make sure our agents are trained well, doing things in the right manner, in a healthy manner, and truly looking out for the public interest, our clients' interest, and for our business interest, as our association membership is concerned.
Thanks, Tim. I think you're completely right. We make a massive impact in our communities and people's lives. I think sometimes we maybe play that down a little bit. Oh, this is just what I do. Or
it's very important work.
Job. But
it really is very important work.
It has a pretty profound impact on people's lives in those times when they most need it.
Yeah.
People rarely move because they had nothing better to do. They usually move when something significant happened in their life and changes, and that's where we show up for them. So yeah, thank you for continuing to do that for 38 years, and you're still all in. I love that.
Yeah, I am. I keep using that very phrase with you. I am all in.
You do. We just finished our board of directors meeting. It was a long one. We had a couple proposals on the table, Schoolhouse Fund, some things from the community involvement, YPN, that we discussed. One of the things that we added in our meeting was the DR and Development Training Task Force. This was something that existed years ago. I want to say back in 2016-17, it existed. The idea of it was to create some training for DRs with the idea that things filter down in our industry. It starts at the DR and then they filter it down to associate brokers and salespeople within their office. We wanted to start there and make sure they were all really, really well trained. So we rolled out a program called Master of Brokers Principles. From that great program, we later rolled out a program called Master of Agent Principles. So we had two great programs that spun out of that original idea. We decided it was time to bring this back. COVID hit and it just sort of died out as things did during COVID. And we feel like now's the time to bring something really high level, really great education back to our DRs and our agents and associate brokers. So next year we plan on launching those programs again. Okay. But to get ready to launch them, we set up a task force and they're going to dive into the criteria that existed, the curriculum that was there before, and start to analyze it and think, hey, we've had a settlement, we've had COVID, we've had a lot of changes in the industry. Do things need to get added in, taken out, or adjusted? So excited about that. Do you have anything to add to that?
I'm a big one for making sure we're all doing our jobs right, and I think that this is going to change the director realtor member who's in charge of the company, oversees it all to make sure that they are in compliance as far as their organization is concerned, and actually training them how to do that and what that looks like, I think is a critical piece of something that we can serve here at GRAR.
Yeah, thank you. Another change that's coming down the pipeline, Julie actually just talked about it on a Facebook Live about 10 minutes ago. Laura made some changes, and what these changes do, they define what promptly is, when we as a listing agent need to present an offer to a seller. So we've got some changes coming down the pipeline. Without getting into all the messy details, GRAR staff are going to be putting together what these changes are coming. So keep a very close eye on this, because it's going to impact all of our businesses. I don't think it's going to be a massive impact. I don't think it's anything to be scared of, but it is going to be, just like any change, a little bit of a change triggered by some changes that started at Laura and are trickling down to the rest of us. So we'll be rolling that out here in the upcoming weeks, months, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Next up, we had a really, really great discussion on a bylaw, and the bylaw really, in essence, was who is eligible to be elected as president. And we spent probably an hour in deep discussion talking about this. In the end, we decided not to make any changes, and sometimes we do that. We have long discussions, we have great discussions, and nothing changes. And that happened to be what today was, but I don't think any of us regret getting those conversations going, and it sparked a lot of great conversation.
So again, the membership needs to know that this was a deep dive. We really had a lot of in-depth conversation about it, and a lot of points were brought up that many of us kind of flip-flop back and forth on this as the words were coming out of our mouth at a time, even. So it was interesting. It was very interesting.
Yeah. Another update for you guys, GRAR, I think you guys probably saw, had launched a campaign that reached out to homeowners in the city of Grand Rapids. This campaign was an effort to get 2 items off of a proposal that the city of Grand Rapids has been debating called CAP, C-A-A-P, Climate Action and Adaptability Plan. That's a long version of it. I'm surprised I remembered it. So the city's been debating on this. It was a 198-point plan. We were really focused just on 2 that affected housing, and our concerns, frankly, were that they potentially could increase housing costs in a time where home affordability is an issue. So we worked really hard with the city, with residents of the city, with the mayor, city planner, city council on this, and we definitely made some headway on how that plan rolled out, and we're really proud that we advocated for the city of Grand Rapids and some of its residents and trying to protect housing costs and keep affordability in mind. So that was a big topic that we went over today. Tim, we had 2 kind of recent changes that I think all members are going to benefit from. They were highlighted in the newsletter. Tell us about those.
All right. First of all, we have a new search field available on our MLS for homeowners associations. You can search whether there is a homeowners association or not a homeowners association. I was a little bit confused when we were doing this at first, that I thought, we can search for a particular homeowner association, but no, it's just an opt into a homeowners association or not. The next issue was I rather enjoyed knowing about is a large print seller's disclosure statement. So I heard it's a little bit longer and went from a 2-pager to a 4-pager, but the print's much larger, and I know a lot of clientele will probably really appreciate that, especially if they're filling that form out using .loop.
Yeah, I know on my end here, when we send that form to my sellers to fill out, it's really hard to squeeze in any kind of detailed language. So this stretches it out, what was 2 pages to 4. There were no changes to the seller's disclosure itself. It's just how much space we have to write and check boxes. It's just going to make life a little easier. So those are some changes that were announced in the newsletter, and we wanted to highlight them. Tim, you are the director liaison for the Grievance Committee.
I am.
Give me some insight as to what the Grievance Committee does, some of the issues that you guys have been wrestling with.
You know, some of the things, a lot of people get confused between the professional standards and grievance. Grievance kind of serves as an investigator, prosecutor, and we handle a lot of more inner industry issues. It might not be a complete place where we review every complaint, but certainly some complaints do come through. And some of the hot topics in the past have been people not following the delay of presentation of offers, which is something that we talked about today. And another one was forewarn use. Forewarn use has been a hot topic lately. We need to remind ourselves the importance of this tool. We recently had a member that, if you read the weekly, where a member discovered a person who contacted them really had a pretty dangerous background with all of the things we would be afraid of showing up with a perfect stranger in an empty house with this kind of a background. So, you know, if we're going to abuse this privilege and just search willy-nilly for whoever we want on our Forewarn app, we may, or you may, lose your right to use it. So keep it in mind. It's a great tool, but just don't abuse it. And we're getting a lot of reports of abuse, and I think we can all understand how it easily could be abused.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we read that safety report in the newsletter.
Yeah.
I think I read it yesterday, and it was some scary stuff that this person had been flagged
Yeah.
when they used Forewarn,
Right.
and it obviously scared the agent enough to cancel that showing and decided to protect themselves and not put themselves in harm's way. And what an amazing tool Forewarn is to help with that
Yep.
process. So,
And just remember, if somebody reaches out to you regarding the real estate business and you have questions about who this person is, that's the time you can use Forewarn.
exactly. Thanks, Tim. Moving on from Grievance and Forewarn, we've got a new really cool tool for members to use. It's called Blonde Waterfall. We talked about it a couple months back. At the time, we weren't ready to roll out our code that you get for your discount, but we've actually got that code ready and you can start putting your orders in right now. In essence, Blonde Waterfall will take your professional photos. We encourage these to be professional photos. They'll take your professional photos and they'll turn them into a marketable video using all sorts of cool technology. We got to see some examples of them. They blew us away. We were really, really surprised at the quality, the level, the speed that they can turn them around in.
And the simplicity.
And the simplicity. You just upload these photos. They can do all sorts of things with them. You can even have voiceovers if you want to pay a little bit more money. Various things. So I think members are going to be really lucky to have this tool, and hopefully they utilize it. Brittany is going to put on our little video our discount code that you guys can start using. But go check out Blonde Waterfall. It's a really neat tool that I think is going to be a nice value add for members. What is happening in and around GRAR, Tim? We've always got stuff happening.
Yes.
We were here yesterday.
Yes.
In fact. What were we doing yesterday?
Yesterday we had Yesterdog, a famous spot here in West Michigan that is under new ownership. I got the opportunity to meet the owners yesterday, and we had pretty packed full house. It was a bit of a rainy day, so we hosted this inside. And I haven't had a Yesterdog in many years, and I was able to have 2 of them yesterday. So
I had a Kraut and an Ultra Dog yesterday. I hadn't had one in, I bet, 15 years. So
right.
It was very nostalgic for me. I enjoyed it, and it was really fun to see so many members come out for that event.
One other thing that is happening with one of the most successful events is our REBAR event. The registration is beginning on Monday, and that event will be held on September 25.
I'm really excited about REBAR this year. I saw a little preview of who the speakers were, some of the topics. It's going to be a great REBAR. It's going to be back at the Knickerbocker, same place that we've had it for a number of years. It's a great place downtown with lots of space for us all to meet and have a good time and learn together and network together. So excited about REBAR. Also, GRAR is offering a code of ethics training. We're actually going to offer it 4 times throughout the year. We've already had our first one. You've probably seen in the newsletter a really fun picture of Julie chucking candy like she's a baseball player. That's what we're referring to. We all need code of ethics training by the end of the year. So GRAR's trying to do their best efforts to make sure you don't have an excuse for not getting it done. So we have 3 more Keep an eye out in the newsletter for those dates, those times, those sign-ups. In addition, tell us about our ambassadorship program that we offer every month.
Yes, every third Thursday of the month we have, is it the third or the last?
The last Thursday.
The last Thursday of every month. We have a few board members that come to GRAR at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're just sitting here waiting to see if any of the membership has anything that they want to come to discuss. We've had some real great successes, a lot of great conversations, a lot of people wondering about becoming a member of the board of directors or different subcommittees and different things and how they can get involved in GRAR. Thursday, August 28th at 9 a.m. You can come and visit with a few of our board of directors.
Next up, we are in election season. We as a board have made a lot of extra efforts this year to get the word out about election season. It was one of our high priorities that we wanted to make sure membership is engaged in this process of electing who they want to serve for them. So we've been making a big push to promote that election season is going on, and this is just one more plug for that. We actually just about 15 minutes ago had the first round of the broker election end. So it ended at 1 o'clock today. Next up, we will have a week-long election when that process of brokers has been narrowed. Brokers and certified appraisers has been narrowed down to just a couple members, and that final vote will be cast, and 2 brokers will be, or certified appraisers will be elected.
Yeah.
And then following that, we'll have a salesperson election. So if you're a salesperson, you're wondering why I didn't see anything, your process has not started, but it's coming down the pipeline here shortly. Tim, we've got a fundraiser happening. Tell us about that.
Oh yes, the Schoolhouse is going to be selling mums for a fundraiser. So if your mum is interested in having a mum, now would be the time to make that purchase and also support a great cause. We gave away $2,000
$2,000
to get this month.
Schools started
to a variety of schools, and so it's just a great tool. I don't know if everybody really understands that a lot of these teachers can be responsible for gathering their own supplies for their classroom, and this kind of helps them offset some of that. And we cover 10 counties. So even on the outskirts, if you have a school in your district that you would like to make application, please go to the public side of GRAR and you'll see a link right to the Schoolhouse program. So please research that.
It's a really cool program.
It is.
We've been doing it for a number of years. It's still going really strong, and it has an impact. We have kids that can't afford hats and mittens and gloves in the winter, and we're helping provide those. We have teachers that can't get all of the supplies that they need, as you mentioned, for kids. This is kind of a big time of the year for those because school's just about to start and they really need all of their supplies. So we wrote a bigger check than we usually do this month, but it's a great cause. We're going to wrap up here. We had a long video, a long discussion. We had a lot going on. You have now been on the board twice.
Yes.
You're in round 2. What has surprised you? What have you enjoyed the most?
Well, first and foremost, if anybody did the math, if I started my career in 1988 and didn't get involved in GRAR until 2015, as far as the board is concerned, I spent many years just kind of not really having the value that I thought that GRAR should have. Or I was maybe too busy or whatever to just not plug myself in there. I will tell you, this has been a career changer for me, and at my state in this industry, to be able to say that that's a big statement. It's very important, and I've thoroughly enjoyed every moment that I've had at the association and in that boardroom. I think this is the 4th year. I did a 3-year stint, and now I'm beginning another 3-year stint. I think I might have missed 1 board meeting in all of that time because I am that interested in showing up, and I feel it is that important of a position to hold. So if there's any interest that anybody has out there, I encourage you. If anybody wants to reach out to me personally and ask any questions about it, I invite you to do so because it really is an important piece of what we do.
Well, thank you, Tim. Thanks for being a lifelong GRAR member, 38 years, as you said, and all the service that you gave to our industry, our association. You've definitely mentored a lot of people and had a great impact. So
thank you.
You should be proud of that.
You bet.
Thank you. That's it, GRAR members. We are off for the day. You'll see us next month in September. Go out and sell some houses.